Ran from Ramster, he did this challenge called We Love the Oscars, and I lost the challenge, unfortunately. I guess I was really tired that day that I had to like predict my winners, and I did it literally as the Oscars were starting. So I didn't really have much time, and you know, I was really busy, and I still am busy now, but I didn't win, unfortunately. I did last year. I predicted all the winners, and I got like all of them right except for 2 categories out of every single category. So I'm on top of it, and I know what I'm talking about, but I guess this year I wasn't. And so I'm going to be talking about Twilight. It is the worst movie ever made. And it's not the greatest movie, but we were challenged to talk about the worst movie ever made and review it. It's the worst, yet the best movie ever. Dun dun dun! Can you see it? Could you see it? Twilight? Ew, gross. The movie Twilight, it started all of the huge franchises. Granted, there was Star Wars before that, and Indiana Jones, and what else was before? What else was Back to the Future? Like older movies, but they weren't as well known for their signature, let's make it all into 8 parts, essentially. Twilight was one of the first movies to explore how much we can really make money off of it. And I absolutely love Twilight because it was one of the first movies that kind of started my love for film. And I know people might say, oh, well, Twilight is like, well, Twilight is so bad. You liked it? Everybody liked Twilight. Everybody heard about it. Everybody saw it. I don't know one person that hasn't seen Twilight. If you haven't, good for you. You're not scarred. You're not gonna be scarred for life early on. Back then, like when I was in 7th and 8th grade when Twilight came out. And what was so funny was like everybody started to just go crazy for this, like, because it was just word of mouth. It was one of those things like, oh my god, have you read the Twilight books? Oh my god, we're gonna go see Twilight. Oh my gosh, come with us. We're gonna have it the night before. And everyone was like, okay. And it kind of spurred into this huge like growth of just ticket sales. And my town was they just went crazy for this movie, and they were so excited for it. And Twilight just was really cool in the sense that it kind of sparked my love for movies because I didn't realize how big of a deal they were until Twilight came out and everyone was going crazy for them. I had to sit away from my best friend. There was no like group seats. Like everywhere, like the theater was packed. And I couldn't even sit by my friend to see the movie. I had to sit by like this old hairy dude. And it's just so funny because like it was a big deal back then, and now it still is, like with the Hunger Games and with Divergent or Insurgent that's coming out this weekend. It's a big deal, and you know, it is granted this movie doesn't have much to offer, and granted this movie isn't, you know, that great. It has kind of terrible acting from Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. It's very cheesy, and it's obviously been made fun of many, many times. Like, they've made like parody movies of this, and they've done it with the Hunger Games too. It's not the greatest written book, and it's not the greatest written script for a film. And it's so bad that it's essentially kind of funny. If you don't take it too seriously, then I think you'll get a kick out of it. As I look back and I watched it, because I watched all of the Twilight movies back, like recently this week since it's spring break and I don't really have much to do, I just decided, you know, I'm gonna watch these movies again, because I haven't like seen them so long and I have all of them. And I popped this one in and I was like, this one is so bad. I was like, there's so many bad, wrong things in this movie, and it's like, I didn't notice it before. I was too fixated on the fact that everybody just went nuts for it, and I just kind of went along with it, and I didn't really have a mind of my own, and you know, I need to have a mind of my own. Like, I'm a person, and I don't want to just be, you know, the average movie girl that goes and sees crappy genre films like this. So I saw Twilight, and you know, again, and I just noticed there's so many bad things in it. Just the acting is terrible, and it's just, the story is so dumb, and she's like this weak girl that just falls for this vampire that's like 100-something years old. And it's like, the things that I notice now, they're really stupid, but I loved it back then. You know, I'm one of those people. But when I was younger, I didn't have a mind of my own. I was still figuring out who I was as a person, and I just went along with everybody else. So I could, you know, just pretend like I knew what I was going for and what I wanted in my life. And Twilight was one of those instances where I was like, okay, yeah, I'll see Twilight. I'm so excited to see Twilight. Oh my god. and now that I look back, I'm just like, why was I like that? I need to have my own mind, and my thoughts and my opinions and my views on movies and everything in this world is very important, and I need to have my own individual opinion, and I don't need to be persuaded and, you know, manipulated by other people to feel the same way about another movie. You know, it's like mental, it's like a trick with your mind, essentially. Twilight was one of those movies, and it's not the greatest movie. I know, not the greatest, not the best acted, and it's definitely not the best franchise ever. But it did spark a huge, huge curiosity, and it made millions and millions of dollars. This movie changed filmmaking. It really did, and it sparked a huge, huge curiosity. And it's not the only one. There's like Harry Potter and obviously Hunger Games, but these movements of movie making and how big franchises are today are really shaping our film industry, and we're starting to just be contracted to doing a project every year and making a movie every year come out at the same time of year, like, you know, Hunger Games comes out every November. And it's just funny because, like, we're expecting it, and when one is almost over, then a new one picks up. So we're never left hanging, I've noticed. Like, I've never not heard of a franchise that's out. Really interesting, because, like, it seems like we never have not had a franchise. Like, after Twilight, there's always been these franchises. And it's cool because I do like franchises. Like, I really do like the Hunger Games a lot. I know some people here don't agree with me, but that's my opinion and that's my thought, and I'm sticking with it, and I love the Hunger Games movies. I'm not gonna just be persuaded by other people to like something. You know, I'm gonna like it if I like it. I'm not gonna be told not to like something. I do like this movie though, but I hate it at the same time. It's like a love-hate relationship. It's a guilty pleasure movie, and I don't see it that, so, like, from the first time I saw it till now, I think I've seen it a total of like 15 times. But there's all these other Twilight movies, and they're all terrible, but they're really interesting, you know? It's just like, this is a formula to make a huge movie sell, and it's like crazy. I just think it's so cool. Alright, I'll talk to you later, bugs. Bye-bye.